All right, we are getting started again today on the PE COFF deep dive stuff. It's going to be interesting. As a reminder, if you are enjoying this project and you're looking forward to seeing things coming out from it and similar projects that will be built on top of it down the line, all of this effort is funded by people who go to mrforth.com/membership and become a supporter or a member. I think there are cool perks involved. You have some options on how you would like to be billed, so go check that out and consider becoming a part of the lab's membership. So today, I was thinking that yesterday that it was about time to come up with take a big step back and do some big picture scouting again. And I thought I would think that through off stream and come to you with a plan for what's next, but I didn't really come to any conclusions, and I ended up deciding that we should do this on stream today. So I'm going to pull up Milton over here, and I'm going to kind of go through just a brainstorming session here on Milton, trying to figure out where we go next. And so I'm going to map out where we are and what we could be doing to get started. So I have the dumper, which takes in PE or COFF and outputs like a textual visualization of the data. And I have the generator, which outputs a PE or a COFF. So that's what we've done so far, is we've built this little set of machines, so we can ingest and I don't know what's the opposite, exgest, ingest and exgest these PE call files. I mean, what's the word that's opposite to ingest? I have to go learn that sometime. Anyway, but this is done with prototype quality. And so then there's a why don't we write this in like this? Prototype quality, right? So one of the things we could do, if we start mapping out our options here, is we could go and upgrade to production quality. So we could work on making it faster, more robust, more user-friendly, tighter, smaller, all that kind of stuff. That's one of the things on our tech tree. We have this. I think I'll do that. We could also get to work on another issue, which is the abstraction of PE COFF with ELF. Right, so we have dumper ELF to text viz and generator to elf. And if we did both of those, we could then work on a binary format abstraction plan. So that would require that. So that's an option. Another, here, this is just the deep dive tech tree as of September 17th, 2024. Technically, we can also put in here the macho version for prototype quality. Same as the others. Right, and so you can see here we run into this thing where the abstraction project kind of just goes on and on and on. And there's, of course, similarly, there's an upgrade for ELF, production quality, and the macho, production quality. And that's just a piece of it too. There's more we can map out. So these are the options for what to work on if we want to keep working on dumpers and generators. But another whole thing I want to get to that's not listed in here is like this. PE / COFF comes in and out comes like an interactive visualization, like a full-on Visual Explorer kind of thing, right? And so that's something that I can work on downstream of this thing. And of course, let me put that somewhere else. Right, so I have this possibility of doing a viz for PE/COFF to interactive visualization. Right, and that's the thing I can build up. Similarly, I can work on a interactive visualization for ELF. And then there's an interactive visualization for Macho. Okay. And of course, once I have all of those, another thing I want to be able to do is to create an abstracted version of those, which would just be viz PE/COFF/ELF/macho to interactive viz. So something like that would depend on our ability to abstract this in the first place and our ability to visualize each of these independently. This serves the outside goal of testing Mr. Forth base.h in plugin system design and development. So that's a cool bonus that goes outside of the binary object file deep dive project, but that was one of the reasons why I took it on. So since we have this one is checked off, right, boom. If I were to, for instance, work on the ELF version and then work on visualizations for each, work on the abstraction of the format, and work on the abstraction of the visualization, then I could get far enough along to complete that task here. Some other cool spots where there are payoffs, though. Let me start marking off worthwhile payoffs along the way here. So this right here is one of the worthwhile payoffs. There's also some worthwhile payoffs like Darius Python, hey, how's it going? What we are looking at today is I am mapping out all the different things I could do. So this chunk here we got done, and I am kind of unsure what the next place to go in the project is. So I'm just taking a big step out from the PE-COFF dumper generator stuff and mapping out the larger scale ambitions of the project to figure out which piece of this massive sort of architecture I have in my head is the one I want to take on next. And similarly, we get, I'll just mark these as connecting to the payoff of another library coming out like that. And like that. So each of these could be done as separate libraries, potentially. There's also an opportunity to do this one as a separate library. This on its own, and this on its own, and this on its own are worthwhile. And each of those also gets us to another thing we can work on, which is for each of these we could build a little linker to take COFF to PE. Well, yeah, I'll simplify it like that for now. I haven't talked about what my goals are. That's kind of what I'm doing, but I don't have a single pointed narrow goal here. A big part of the point of research is to enable lots of possibilities. So I'm just kind of mapping out what a lot of the possibilities are. I don't think I'll ever get to all of them, but I'm hoping to pick a path through this that does have some payoffs. You know, I need to raise funding, and finishing good projects would help with that. But I also want to pick ones that will enable other people to pick up where I left off and do more of these kinds of things. So I'm trying to get strategical about that today and figure out what the goals are. But if I had to summarize right now what the goals are essentially, it comes down to just making it easier to span all of this, like to really get a handle on all of this for all sorts of purposes. I want the tool chains to not feel like opaque black boxes that we have to just learn how to use, but to actually feel like the building blocks of the tool chain, the object files and executable files, are resources that we trivially interact with. Generating them, consuming them, all that kind of stuff should just feel intuitive and easy to someone who can already imagine writing code in a language like C, essentially. And I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get there. So there we go. We can make a linker. I don't see any reason to abstract a linker. The only difference between this and the abstracted version would be that they are, you know, the abstracted one would dispatch on the type of input in order to figure out which one of these to run. So, I mean, this is a little different because you might have multiple of these open at the same time in an interactive visualization, but you can't really do these. But once we have linkers and once we have visualizers, then we can get on to the next big idea, which would benefit from putting all of this together, which is the visual linker. Which would be a tool for taking in human intent and PE slash COFF slash ELF slash macho and outputting. I don't like that. And outputting an interactive visualization with more PE, COFF, ELF, and macho in either format. Okay. This right here is the big payoff that I think sits at the end of this project, as long as I don't start connecting in anything else. And so this depends on already being able to build an abstracted interactive visualization and being able to link like these other tool chains. So I think that's basically the map of this project. And we've got this spot done. So we are able to chase down a visualizer if we want. We're able to chase down a linker if we want, which is kind of an interesting one. We could start working on the production quality of this in isolation. There is a disadvantage to any of these things which are about production quality, which is if we do any of these in production quality in isolation, that tends to lead to making that piece of the system too tightly wound up in a particular shape to flexibly connect it in with new things. So if I have ambition to accomplish more, to put more prototype pieces together into a larger prototype, staying at prototype quality for now might be important. And then as I build out these new things, we'll sort of start to see like, okay, we need a production quality on the generator, and then we need a production quality pass on the linker, and so on and so on and so on. There's a limit to how far you want to do that. You know, stringing together prototypes on top of prototypes forever. Yes, it's prototyping still, so you're building a bigger prototype. But at a certain point, you can't actually tell if your larger thing is going to work if the smaller pieces aren't good enough to keep up with the larger machine's demands. So there's a danger of that, but So let's see. Some advantages to going straight for this visualizer next would be that I have the Handmade Network Jam coming up, and the Handmade Network Wheel Reinvention Jam. I probably want to do something with visual interactivity for that, and I haven't uh, done that for a few months. I haven't worked on a graphical program since the stream started, really. So, getting into the habit of working on one of those might be good. Um, Getting sort of the basis of one up and running. Um, it's not entirely clear that that's what I'm actually going to do for the jam, but it might be nice to have that ready in case that's the sort of thing I want to work on. I could also just say, like, why don't we prep for interactive visualization of the PE COFF format by getting a visualization, just a template ready on Friday for visualization and go from there. Make sure I've got, font rendering or text rendering through a font and shape rectangles and clicking and keyboard stuff at a point that's good enough. I don't want to get bogged down during the jam with something like a text field input widget. So maybe trying to get ahead on that would be good, but I don't know. I have a partially baked UI system from earlier this year, but I probably don't want to work on it. I probably want to scratch that and start again. Just because I don't remember it very well, and it didn't hit that point of being a sort of self-sustaining, well-made project. It was an attempt, and it didn't pan out that time. In terms of what's good for the project, ignoring the upcoming jam. Well, I can tell you that right now I'm not super up for this piece. I gotta get it to start doing. I'm not really up for this piece right now, or this piece. Like, I don't want to do another format. I've been doing a format this whole time. These ones are going to be harder because I'm going to have to set up a virtual machine once I've generated, or when I want to consume new elves, I'll have to generate them on a different machine, like a virtual machine. And when I want to generate them, I'll have to test them on a different machine. So, like, there's a whole problem here of, like, this, which I need to get unblocked on first. Yeah, so it's true. If I do the visualization, that is much better than the dumper that we have. It'd be more rich, and it could be, a piece of this that is optional, but that could be in there is like giving feedback and on all the things that we know that could go wrong. We could work on making the parse part of our code more production quality. So not a full upgrade on this path, but we could upgrade the production quality on how we parse so that we can grab errors and stuff. And that would be forced by this because you wouldn't want to put a file in and get a crash. You'd want to be able to say, like, hey, this looked like an invalid PECOFF file, and here's how we're going to help you find that. So this would be like diagnostics as well as interactive visualizations, which could be cool. So maybe we plan on that. Let's linking will be cool to do at some point. I feel like if we do this one, I feel like if we do this one and this one, we would then be triangulating on being able to do this. We would probably want to go back and do elf all the way through as well in order to get that one, and then this one, and then this one at the very least. We could also do a non-abstracted version of the visual linker just for PECOFF first, and do the whole project just on PECOFF, and then go and do it again. And that might be a smart way to do it too. Sometimes abstracting is the thing that slows you down the most, and you can just kind of keep going if you stay concrete. And then when the time comes that you actually want to abstract, you already know the whole shape of the architecture in one instance, so the other instances, whatever they bring to the table might force some small scale adjustments, but you kind of like know where things are going. You don't get bogged down in abstracting it in the wrong way. So let's do that. Let's start today by working on the visualization capabilities of my code base and set up a PE Viz project. I think that's what we'll do. So let's see. We took about 30 minutes of the stream to think through what the next steps would be. So we still have some time to get started on these next steps. Since this is the very beginning of a sort of new, a new block, what do I want to call it? Node, module, layer, something like that, in the code. We're going to kind of be doing some template setup stuff. It's going to be a little just dry, busy work of setting up a project because it's not instantaneous in the current ecosystem, even with 4Coder to help. It just takes a bit of time. So we put on some non-distracting video game music, remixes. Perfect. I don't necessarily like that abbreviation. So I don't want to be typing Pevis. Let's see. Yep, we want one of those. Okay, I'm going to turn on diagnostics for that. What's going on here? Got it. Right, it creates an app state. Very well, very well. Okay. All right, so Cool. All right, so the template so far is a black screen that can actually be closed when I ask it to close. It's currently going into full screen. I don't know if we want that. Very good. So, what are some other things we need to be in a good place with this? Currently, we just have a basic template. I want to be able to accomplish the following things. Okay. Once we can do all that, then I want to be able to well, I think we'll figure out what to do from there later. I guess we do want to be able to copy text to clipboard. Okay, okay. I think that that's a good starting point. Let's try to get all that done. Alright, I'm going to take my 5-minute break. And when I get back, we will work on a plan for how the data folder for the visualizer will be maintained during development and how it'll get packaged up for the final binary. But let's see, we're going to do... let's go back a page, go up one, close this panel, scratch. All right, we're back. Hey, Batman. Here we go. Hold on. I want to think about this because I could go down this road, but these fancy string systems always take like a whole day. The last time I did this, it was the entire first day. It was 7-day jam. And I don't have that much more time today. So now might not be the right time to be starting a fancy string system. And I don't actually know what kind of features I want it to have either. I think this might be a little more out there than what I need to be doing right now. But icons would be good to get, so let's work on that. Cool. Icons are in good shape. Clickable buttons. Okay. I think this is a good stopping point. There's still things to do on this, but we're getting into the next step here where it's not about the graphics half, it's about the interaction half. So like this and this will be about input systems. This and this will be operating system abstraction stuff. This might be operating system abstraction, although it's more of an input side thing, and it could be a whole thing on its own. So I think these pieces are good to save for tomorrow, and for the jam itself, possibly. So as a reminder, what things we got going on coming up, and again, I'm not even promising to definitely work on this during the jam, but it would be nice if I got all the template stuff out of the way before the jam and then made this my jam project next week, because then I can keep, I can kind of get them both going at the same time, right? We can participate in the jam and stay on top of the projects that I care about here at the lab. So for the schedule for this week, I'm gonna be on stream again tomorrow morning, working on this again, same time as always, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and then I'm gonna have Thursday off. On Friday, I will be doing 4Coder Friday in the morning, and then in the afternoon on Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, I'm gonna hop on to look through my list of ideas for the jam, and this might be one of the things I consider, but I have a couple other ideas, and I just want to hash out what I'm feeling for the jam. So I'm gonna do that on Friday, and if there's anything left to do to prep, I will do that on Friday as well in that afternoon stream. With that, you've got my schedule coming up. This jam itself is next week, starting on Monday, and it'll go for 7 straight days. So I'll be streaming every single one of those days if I'm, able. And with that, we are ready to sign off for the day. So thanks for coming and checking out what I'm working on. And don't forget that this project and everything else I've got going on with the 4Coder Fridays and the arena educational materials and indexing the video library and all of this cool stuff that we've got going on is funded by viewers like you who go and check out mrforth.com/membership and decide that you are able to support on a monthly basis or a yearly basis or become a member. And so if you consider that, it'd be much appreciated. And with that, I will see you around the internet. Bye.